Hey Bill, it's very nice to meet you in person. I've read and I've seen a lot of your work, so I'm excited to get to talk to you today and learn more about you and your work. Tell me how it started.
I feel like I was always an artist since I was a little kid. I sketched, I doodled, I scribbled on everything from, papers at home or schoolwork, and I just wanted to be a cartoonist and being around cartoons on TV all the time. It just let me know what I what I wanted to do with my life. It would be, somebody who works in cartoons.
So growing up, and you said you felt or you liked just doodling. Was there a cartoon growing up that you really liked that inspired you, that said, oh man, I like these graphics, I want to do something like this?
The one cartoon, maybe two cartoons that stood out were the Mickey Mouse cartoons and the Scooby Doo cartoons. Back in the early '70s, when Saturday morning cartoons was like a big thing for kids my age, I just got involved, and Mickey Mouse and Scooby Doo were my favorite cartoons.
Bill, what was your first project that you worked on?
My first project that I worked on was I was at Film Roman, and they had a Christmas show called The Story of Santa Claus, and it was kind of a put together show, getting artists from here, from this show, another artist from this show, and Film Roman brought me in to teach me animation. So as a student, they brought me in to help out, and I worked on everything on that show, The Story of Santa Claus.
So how did you meet Phil Roman?
This is a great story because I was a flower delivery guy for 5 years, not knowing where my life was going to go, trying to get into the business. 5 years is a very long time. And I delivered flowers to a studio in Burbank, and my portfolio I used as a platform to hold the flower arrangements, the vases, so they won't spill over. So I brought it over to the lobby, I set it down, and then took the flowers off of my portfolio, just using it as a platform. So the receptionist, who I'm still friends with, took the flowers, set them aside, took my portfolio, put them on the other side of a stack of portfolios. I did not know that Film Roman was an animation studio. And a couple of weeks later, they called me saying they want to hire me.
Sounds like divine work.
You can say that. I say pure luck.
Well, you were very lucky that day.
Yeah, I was, yes.
So that was your first project. How did you know this is like, okay, that I'm doing this is what I want to do? At that moment, did you feel like this is something that you wanted to do for life and not deliver flowers anymore? Or were still thinking this is something that I could consider as a hobby, or I want to do something else? You're like, you know what? My heart is here. This is what I want to do.
No, my heart was there day one. I was just trying to break into the business, was just another obstacle, because the business and the entertainment industry is very hard, and it's a networking type of business, so you must know somebody in order for you to get in. No matter the training you have, it's great to have the training, but you have to also know the connections. And luckily for me, I didn't have any connections, and they just got me green off the street, literally, from my delivery route, and they welcomed me in.
So out of all these projects you worked on, can you tell me the projects that you're more proud of, that you're more happy to share?
Well,
and why? Do they mean something to you?
Yeah, my career has spanned almost 30 years, so it's kind of hard. I've gone through so many shows, but one of the shows that really stands out because of the camaraderie and the friendships I got, it was a show called The Billy and Mandy Show, or Grim and Evil, and that was one of my favorite shows because Having friends that you can still have in that industry, it's very hard to do. And yes, it's everyone there was amazing.
Is there a special character that every time you draw 'em brings, I don't know, an emotion to you that you feel connected to that character for some reason?
I do not because I think at an early age in my industry, you don't. It's not your idea. It's not your show. You just go in as a hired work. You just feel happy to be a part of what is going on. So there's really not one single character that I can feel that makes me feel that way. But I feel like I like that for all of them because they gave me, such a great, I would say employment
Experience too.
experience. Yeah, yeah.
Happiness, right? It's a good happy
Happiness.
experience.
Yeah, I would wake up every morning just like I get to go draw cartoons. Not a lot of people can do that with their work, right?
Right.
And I couldn't wait to not go home because you just work as an artist. You're just drawing, all day, all night.
Very good. Bill, I can't help but to stare at your shirt. What's the story with the shirt?
This is one of my favorite films. When I used to teach, I used to have the students look at old black and white films. This one is The Cabinet of Dr. Caligari with the actor Conrad Veidt, who plays Caesar, a somnambulist who goes out into the middle of the night to kidnap women. But his look has inspired so many styles, from music to other characters, from Editor Scissorhands to the Bauhaus look in goth rock. This actor was in Casablanca. He was inspired to be Jafar in the Aladdin. So yeah, this actor, this film has spawned so many looks of this character.
Well, art is a movement, huh?
Yes, yes.
In the Truckle Fair, it moves everywhere.
Yeah, and German expressionism. Yeah.
Very interesting. I've never seen that shirt before, but now if I ever do, I know the story behind it.
Yeah, yeah.
Very cool. Bill, you mentioned you've been doing this for 30 years. In the course of 30 years, what has changed?
I feel technology has changed. Technology has come up into our industry, the entertainment industry. Technology had just come as a tidal wave. If you're not ready for it, it's going to be hard for people to adapt. When I first started, everything was traditional. You draw with your hands. CG was just starting, so we weren't really afraid of CG. But Photoshop is a type of an example of technology changing, which I was against Photoshop at first, but then I kind of embraced it, and now I can't live without Photoshop. A friend of mine he's an old Disney guy, and we were talking about Photoshop at the time, and he said that it happened to him back in the 50s. And he says when Xerox came into our animation industry, everyone was afraid of that technology was going to take away jobs. So what I've learned from that was these technologies become tools. And up to right now, in what year is it now? 2026. AI is now the problem with technology in our industry. So yeah, I would say technology has been a big change in my career, throughout my career.
AI has swept a lot of industries because it can be very effective and useful. And in many industries, it can be a really good tool. So in your particular industry, do you see it as a tool or do you see it more as a competition? Because now it's a lot easier for anybody to just use AI to come up with a character, and you can be specific about what character. So are there challenges for you, or how do you see that?
For me, I think it's a tool, but it's also a competitor. Because studios, the industry, film industry, they want everything faster and cheaper. Technological tool to compete against because it's faster. Yeah, it will take jobs away and kill an industry. But what I've learned from Photoshop, what my bosses learned from Xeroxing, is can you adapt? Can you change? Or do you want to be left behind? I had to learn how to use Photoshop, or else I would have been left behind. And I had to learn Illustrator. I had to learn all these other software so I can stay relevant in my industry. Because in my industry, if you're not relevant, then they're not going to hire you. So yes, AI will do that, take away jobs, unless you allow it, take your job.
And stay relevant, right?
And stay relevant, yeah. Yeah.
So, I think a lot of people just turn on the TV and we watch cartoons, right? I mean, we have our kids watching cartoons. Some adults like watching cartoons, right? Mm-hmm. What misconception do people in the outside have about, what you do that we don't understand? Because all we see is a show on TV and we just enjoy it. So are there any misconceptions that we have from the outside that we don't understand?
For me, since I'm not a parent, but from friends and family that are parents, I feel, and this is my opinion, that parents use cartoons as a babysitter instead of entertainment for the whole family. So what I've learned or seen that they'll turn on a show and they'll just have the kids in front of the TV and then walk off and let the TV take care of your kid, which is not the whole point of animation. Animation, cartoon, that's supposed to be a family event. You sit and you watch a cartoon and you laugh. And it has changed over the years where animation has started for adults only. If you go back to the Looney Tunes, all those jokes are for the adults. And those are only shown on before movies. And then Saturday morning cartoons happen for Saturday morning cartoons when the kids would get up from bed and go watch TV and have breakfast with the family. And then from then that just took off to an actual babysitter. And that's how I feel. That's my opinion on how I see the way animation was utilized.
I can see that, yeah, especially with all the technology that we have right now, and parents being so busy. Not like before, right? Where mom would stay home, and dad would work, and mom would be watching the kids. Now we have TV watching the kids. Yeah. Very interesting point.
And on the other hand, the industry found out that we're gonna have kids in front of the TV all day. Why don't we cater to them our other toys? Commercials. Have the kid want to buy a toy, and the toy will be shown to the mother or the father, like, hey, I want to buy this. So the industry also knew who was watching. This is the way to make money for them, is to sell their commercials through the kids. So it's kind of like you have the show for the cartoon for the kids, but then the cartoon is also. And then the advertisement for the parent to buy something from that studio.
Monetizing it. Right?
Yeah. The commercials became a best way to make money for toys, And the best place to do it is put in front of a TV show,
Bill, I understand that 4 years ago you had a stroke. How has that impacted your career, your life? It's a big challenge. Have you overcome that? How is that process going?
I'm still overcoming it. I mean, it's a process of getting better. Yes. 4 years ago, 2 days after Christmas, I suffered a stroke. And when I woke up 2 months later, I did not know where I was, and yes, it took a big hit because as a right-handed artist, it took away everything I've learned since I was a kid to my adulthood. It just took it all away. So my right hand does. It's kind of like it's still here, but I can't feel it. So uh, it did take an effect with my job because people know, friends know that I'm recovering, but also the studios, or I would say the entertainment industry, Hollywood, doesn't slow down for anybody. And in my opinion, if you can't help Hollywood, then Hollywood can't help you. So that's one of the difficulties for me is now that I recovering from the stroke, the calls have stopped coming. Before the stroke, I was an artist that was called to go work on this show, that show. Always, my phone was always ringing. And now that the phones have stopped, now I have to move to a new direction in my career and my life because 4 years ago, the doctor said I wasn't going to be able to speak properly, to walk properly. And for me, that is are now my accomplishments that I'm looking forward to every single day. And unfortunately, my past in my animation is now part of my past, and I'm happy that I was part of it. But now I have new goals in life. So Cairo has also been part of my support. Without this guy, I don't think I can even um, accomplish what I'm doing now with my rehab because he needs to be walked every single day, which means I walk every single day. So in a way, he's my nurse, and the love of an animal is probably it's so hard to. When you love your family, but the love of a pet is like amazing for me because my rehab is he's part of it, and yeah, I think I've changed a lot more with him too. Um, I think my energy has changed too, and he knows when dogs know when a human is not feeling good. They can sense these things, so he's always with me, and he knows when I'm not feeling good, when I'm feeling happy. So yes, Cairo's been a really good support for me.
Cairo, I hear you have an interesting story of your own.
I don't know how long it has been. It's been a while. He also had illness or let's say an event. He doesn't have a lot of white blood cells, so he lost all of his hair, and we almost lost him. And the only way to get him back, we had to go through a lot of medical procedures for him, especially a lot of steroids. So the vets didn't know if he was going to make it or not, but little by little he came back. So we were there for him, and now he's there for us. And he's just one great support group all in on four legs.
I love that. Such a great story. Bill, what's next? What's the next adventure in life?
I am moving into retirement, a medical retirement, which is I'm allowed through my union, and so that's going to be my next step in my life is getting into retirement. I can focus on my artwork.
What does that retirement look like for you?
First of all, we have to focus on rebuilding our home. Last year, we lost our house in the Altadena fire.
Oh.
This is not the way I wanted to start 2025. So now this year is a rebuild year for us. So, you know, retirement is going to be a lot of rebuilding before I can really focus on my artistic next phase of my life.
Sounds like there's a lot of rebuilding, right? From
Yes.
rebuilding yourself at a different stage in life,
Yeah.
rebuilding your home, and then you're going to focus on your career. Now, after you're done with rebuilding your home, what does the future look like for you?
Become a full-fledged artist and mentor, hopefully, and talk to the youth of people can be artists and not worry about, I want to mentor the young artists, knowing that there's so many avenues now to pursue their life in art, with new ways to make their own project, their own shows through YouTube or other ways through TikTok or Instagram, and there's different ways to get out there, get their art out there, get their message out there. So it's a perfect time for young artists to follow and fall into.
I understand too that you go to high schools and speak to these young adults, seniors in school, and you share your experience. What's that experience like, going into a high school with a bunch of young adults, right? Seniors. How is that experience for you?
I really enjoy it because I get to let the young artists, the students, to don't be afraid of what is out there, because let's say AI is going to be out there, and so it's going to be up to you or up to the artist in order to adapt or not. And I love telling stories about art and becoming your own individual artist. So yeah, I do like going out to talk to students about that.
What traits do you think are important for any young student that wants to get into this field to have, besides obviously the talent, maybe, right? What other traits do you believe they need?
Hard work is one thing. Drawing a cartoon character isn't that easy. People think it's easy, but you need to know the fundamentals of what a character looks like, or if you want to make a cartoon, you still have to learn how to move a shape.
Bill, it's been a pleasure. This is my first time that I get to chat with an artist of your type, or any type, I would say.
Oh, thank you.
So it's been a great experience for me. I think what you've done and accomplished is very inspiring, and your challenges are also very motivational for the young students. I think sometimes when you're young, you put a lot of pressure on yourself, and there's a lot of doubt in your mind of the things you can do or cannot do. And I think you just proved to everybody that anything you want, you can do, right? No matter what the challenge is. I mean, from having a stroke, from getting into the industry. So I think this is very motivational and hopeful for the young kids that want to participate in an industry in the future. So thank you.
Yep. Oh, thank you. Thank you for inviting me.
En este mundo tengo que sudar. El cariño que siento nunca va a faltar. Soy mexicano, mi piel es mi razón. Por más que lucho, hay discriminación. Pero mi espíritu no va a quedar. quebrar. A pesar del odio yo voy a brillar. Soy de piel café y tengo valor. La vida es dura pero soy mejor. De esta tierra con amor y fe, no importa el odio, siempre seré